All right, welcome to Good News York, episode 35, and not just any episode. I think I am probably the most excited I've been so far. Everybody knows here I am a gigantic Bills fan, and I am so pleased to welcome the Don of the Bills Mafia and the CEO of 26 Shirts. If you're a Buffalo Bills fan, you know him, you love him, Mr. Reid. Let's get him on here. My man, listen, I know the clapping is underwhelming. It's just one of me right now. My co-host is not here. How are you, buddy?
Great, man. I appreciate the invite. I hate Don. I hate being called Don.
You know what? I should have asked you that. I don't know what else to call you. Like, I feel like in the Mafia, what do we call it? Like the CEO of the Mafia? What do you think? What is the right title?
I usually go with co-founder. That way it's like Bree and Leslie, and it honors them as well too by going that route. So
absolutely,
yeah, co-founder.
Shout out to Bree and Leslie, of course,
Mm-hmm.
Creators of the Bills Mafia. Del, thank you for coming on the show. I told my kids before I left today, I said, guys, I leave a Bills fan today, and when I come back, I'm going to be up into the next tier of Bills fandom because I'm talking to the co-founder of Bills Mafia. Now, I know you've told this story a million times. I know it, but I feel like for the sake of consistency and for those that are listening and watching that don't know, take us back to November 2010. Del Reid, Buffalo State graduate, thinks he's going to be a computer IT guy, and all of a sudden, something changes in your life. What happens?
Yeah. So again, thanks for having me on. This
of course,
it's gonna be a fun conversation for sure. Yeah. So for the 4 people who haven't heard the story, Stevie Johnson goes out for a pass against the Steelers in overtime. Steelers, I think, were the defending AFC champs at that point. Bills had started the season 0-8.
Yep.
And pushed these league heavyweights to the brink in overtime, and Ryan Fitzpatrick drops back, throws an absolute rope, perfect pass to Stevie, lands in his hands, and he drops it. Like he if you pause it, like he has the ball in his hand. Like it's a catch.
I was there. My seats were in that end zone.
Oh yeah, yeah. So man.
Yeah.
So what a letdown. But so he goes on Twitter that night and kind of like questions his faith and questions God, and Bills fans being the types we are, in the week prior he had just scored 3 touchdowns against the Cincinnati Bengals in an awesome comeback, and so we were in love with this guy. I felt like we had somebody special, because during the drought there was a lot of Joe footballs, lining up for the
a lot
Bills.
of Jimmys and Joes.
A lot of Jimmy's Jones, a lot of Jags, right? Just another guy, right?
That's right.
So Stevie was far from a Jag. So he interacted with fans like more so. I mean, Twitter was like very different back then. It was much more organic, more real. Now everybody has every player has like their own content manager and their brand advisor and all these things. But Stevie, to this day, he's just on there mixing it up with fans. So
he was one of the originals. That, like you said, there wasn't a lot of interaction on Twitter. It was very rare that you would get direct interaction. So it was wild that he was so open to, talking to people on there.
Yeah. I remember fast forward a year or two when the Bills released their uniforms, their updated uniforms. It was during the lockout with the NHL or NFLPA. And Stevie had snuck in to the stadium as a fan because he wanted to see the new uniforms. That's how engaged this guy was. It really felt like he was one of us. He really embraced Bills fans. And so anyway, so the next day, Adam Schefter retweeted Stevie's, questioning God tweet. And for Adam, he breaks all the NFL news. So for him to share something, a day later was we're an oversensitive bunch, Bills fans. So sure. We're like, why are you dredging this all up? Like the whole day, I think everybody was like down because they lost the game, and at the same time rallying around Stevie because we're just like showing him love. And then all of a sudden Adam comes in out of left field, like basically clicks, retweet right then. So yeah, it was. So we started teasing him. hashtag Schefter Breaking News became a thing. And he ended up, those of us that were making fun of him and teasing him, I guess some people were vulgar. I never saw those, but like he said in interviews since, some people were really being nasty, which, I mean, if you've been on Twitter,
Well,
it's believable.
I think you and I are around the same age. I think you and I both know that there's drought era fans, and then there's post and pre-drought era fans. We were a little bit grumpier back then, so that was probably part of it.
Yeah. So, but anyways, he ends up blocking a bunch of us, and then, you fast forward to, I think it was the week of the draft in 2011, and I was just doing like a follow Friday tweet, if you remember those, when you recommend people you followed to people that follow you, and I just named a bunch of us that had gotten blocked, and I called us the Bills Mafia, and it was a joke, and I was picking up a pizza. It was a Friday night, I think. Picking up a pizza, and I was just waiting for the pizza to be done, and I'm just tweeting on my phone, and then get in the car. I, go home and eat dinner with the family and everything. And what did you know? It kind of caught on. And then it just continued to like slowly steamroll or slowly snowball over the next several months. So by the time training camp rolled around, players were using it, other fans were using it. And then Bree and Leslie, who I mentioned a moment ago, the three of us, we kind of like saw something here. Like, should we do something with this? And I always say I'm really blessed that they were the other two in this, these co-founders of mine, just because we all agreed that we did not want to make this about ourselves. Because how often does something go viral and then the person who was part of it like goes out and tries to do something and make it about them? And also, for me, I'm always like, I'm out. Yeah, Numa was funny. It was a funny video you made. I don't care about what you're doing next.
Right.
So. So we just saw that there was an opportunity here to do something unique and different. This is kind of like the advent of social media, and we really, I guess, we took to heart the social part of it. So we started organizing tailgates, and we started a website, and it was had a blog aspect to it. And the one thing that I was responsible for was I called it Mafia Monday, and I would interview a different Bills fan every week, just random Bills fans, like just make because. We all know what happens on the field, but there's so much to Bills culture.
Yeah.
Fan culture in general that doesn't happen where the game is involved. And so I just wanted to bring all these cool stories to light and started doing that. And just our goal was always to make it about the fans, not about ourselves. And it's kind of funny enough, fast forwarding now, here it is 14 years later, and I'm been doing an awesome video podcast with Bruckman Media called Mafia Family Ties.
Yes.
It feels like it's like back to the roots. I've been just interviewing fans.
Yeah, you went full circle.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool how that all shook out. But
that is
it's funny. And we're all unblocked now and literally cool with Adam Schefter. Got to meet him last week. That was crazy. Very full circle moment. We give him a hat. We wrote Schefter Breaking News on the underside of the brim. It was kind of funny. He's a good sport about it.
That's amazing. That's actually, I was going to talk about that next. It was a Labatt Blue event. It was a live event where you and the other co-founders of Bills Mafia, 26 shirts, you guys finally came full circle. Stevie Johnson was there. You met Adam Schefter. It looked like it was an unbelievable time. Was Schefter, I mean, I'm sure he's cool about it now. Was he cool about it then? I feel like I remember he was kind of pissed off, like, when it first happened. And he was, like, kind of raging a little bit, like, these guys are on my ass, How was he before you met him as compared to at the event?
He's always been, I mean, I don't know how he was immediately after. It's like I blocked, right?
That's true.
I don't know if he was ranting or whatever.
That's a good point.
But, within a few years, my buddy Sean on Twitter, he petitioned Adam to unblock me, and he did. And then probably 5 years ago, I think I tweeted it at him, and I said, "Hey, just so you know, you kind of changed my life." Yeah. So I'm I'm grateful to you for that. And he says, "No, you did it all yourself." Really nice, kind words, And then it's kind of wild. And now going back, we're at home, it was last Thursday, so we go today, that we did the event with Adam and Stevie, and I go home and I'm just sitting on the couch, like before I go to bed, and my phone lights up, and he followed me. So
No
I'm like,
way. Yeah.
so it's kind of, it's like it's kind of funny. Like I don't know if 2010 Dell ever expected anything.
It's just so wild the world we live in now where you used to hear like overnight success or things can change in a minute and literally with the send of a tweet it can happen and that's what happened to you. Tell me a little bit more about the event. There were a lot of pictures. I didn't see any videos. I don't know if any videos are coming out. It looked like you were on the stage with Adam Schefter, Stevie Johnson. Was the event more of like you told the story and then took questions? How did it go?
Yeah, it was a lot of that. Well, the ESPN did that piece back in January.
Yeah,
That Adam was a part of and everything, and
which was great.
so oh my gosh, they were here for 8 hours that day. It was great. I thought they were just gonna come in, do an interview, and leave. And I'm texting with the producer. I'm like, so how long should we expect you? And he's like, oh, about 8 hours. I'm like,
Okay.
all right.
Yeah.
Mi casa, su casa.
Sure.
So we hosted them at 26 Shirts, and I think Sal Capaccio came out, and he was a part of it because Bree couldn't make it out, and so Leslie was part of it. And since Bree couldn't make it out, he lives in Virginia. We had Sal step in because Sal was the first. Back when he was living in Florida, he had his own live streaming show, and he was the first one to bring the three of us on and interview us. So I'm like, all right, Sal should be a part of it. So
100%.
So that was cool. But anyway, so they showed that video, and then they did like a Q&A, and like Maddie Glad moderated the whole thing. So she had like set questions she was asking us. So and then they took questions from the audience. I was there for maybe like the first third of it, just talking about that bit, and then I stepped down into the audience, and then it was Maddie with Stevie and Adam just asking questions more about like the team itself and and all that stuff. So it was awesome. It was great. It was very vindicating because in the early years, the team did not like the term Bills Mafia, and Stevie was saying how they would actually tell players not to use it.
Really?
And yeah, that's what Stevie said. And then I remember there was one time, it was like maybe it was January 2013. It was at the Pro Bowl.
Uh-huh.
And Jarris Bird, they were letting players tweet from the Pro Bowl. So Jarris Bird tweeted something about Bills Mafia. And the Bills did like a manual retweet, if you remember those from back in the day, like RT space and the name and then the words.
God.
Like so they did that. It was like RT Jarris Bird.
Yeah.
That one was for you, Bills fans. They took out Bills Mafia and they put Bills fans in it. So they literally scrubbed it. And I remember like the outrage and everything on Twitter. So for them to have been so not cool with the term. I mean, it's a different them, right? Different ownership. Yeah. From the top down, it's all different people there now. But still vindicating in that, like, for Bills Mafia have been such a grassroots, like, almost like the real mafia, like this thing of ours, right? That's always described like this thing of ours. For that to have been fully embraced to the point now where the Bills are doing an event celebrating the origin of it, bringing in Adam Schefter and Stevie Johnson. And it's just mind blowing, like to have been up there on the stage talking about it. It really is.
But
someday, I always joke, someday I'm going to wake up and this will all have been a dream. But on the plus side, I'll be 35. So I'm great.
Well, dude, it couldn't happen to a better dude. You're so down to earth. You're such a great guy. You do so much for the Buffalo community, obviously for the fan base. I mean, you gave us a name, and it really is like, honestly, the Bills Mafia is kind of like the Buffalo's version of Woodstock. Like, it was just this big mistake that ended up becoming this thing, this life-changing thing. And I give you a lot of credit. So after this, now I don't remember if it's during or after, you start 26 Shirts, which 26shirts.com, you've got to check this out. Just amazing. Talk to me a little bit about how that started, and I'm interested. I read something about the name, how you got the name. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So a couple years into Bills Mafia, so now we're in 2013. People, we had a Twitter account that actually way back, Stevie told us to register. He said, you should create a special account just for Bills Mafia. So we had at the Bills Mafia. Right. And it's since been renamed to Buffalo Fan Base for different, reasons. But people were always asking, like, hey, can you share this fundraiser? Can you, retweet this? And things along those lines. And so just one day, somebody was sharing a story with us, and it really just, like, struck struck a chord with me, and I just felt moved to do more than just like share his online raffle, and little girl named Amber, she had a condition called retinoblastoma, which is like eye cancer, and just was really moved by the story. And I said, all right, you know what? Next time we do something, I'll share your fundraiser, but next time we do something, different with Bills Mafia, like I'll give you the money. And that was coming right off of, like, if you remember the legend of Kiko Alonso.
Oh yes, very much.
So that was another. So that was, I think that was another thing where I made a joke and just kind of went like,
Yeah, you're killing it.
But it doesn't happen that often these days now. But like it's all good. So so we had sold some Kiko shirts, and it was fun to just like kind of watch it grow, the sales and everything, and ended up giving that money to a little girl, I think in the Olean, but had so I had this idea, like, like even in the middle of the drought, Bills fans are hungry for merch. They were hungry because we love our team. It doesn't matter, like how they're performing. I mean, it matters, but it doesn't matter. Like
we're still going to show up. We're still going to show up.
Right. You're still going to, when you travel, when you go to Florida, Disney World, California, you're still wearing all your Bills stuff, even if they went 0-17, right?
100%.
So I had this idea, like, for like a 1-year project, like I could probably do a different shirt every 2 weeks and help a different family. Because I was at that point now, with the amount of people who are like, hey, can you share this? Can you post this? Like, becoming pretty intimately familiar with the number of, families in need in the community. And I said, all right, let's do it for a year. Let's do a different shirt every 2 weeks. I love t-shirts, so I'm just taking something I love, and I love the idea of being able to help people. So just decided to go forward with that project. I remember sharing it with some friends. It was in a Bible study on a Monday night with some buddies, and just sharing this little girl's story and just saying how I want to do more. I want to, whatever this platform is that, God has dropped in my lap, I want to do something productive with it. And spitballing, had this idea to sell t-shirts to help, families. And I said, I think I'd do a different one every week. And my buddy Jake, or my buddy, I forget which one said it, like, you can't do that. Like, you're working full time. That's a lot of work. That's a grind. I said, yeah, you're right. I could probably do it every 2 weeks though. Like, I know my schedule. I know I could probably do this every 2 weeks. My buddy Jake, he's sitting on the couch right next to me. I remember this. He goes, dude, that's like 26 shirts. I'm like, yeah, I know. I think I could pull it off. So I wake up the next morning, and it's literally as if like the term 26 shirts is just like following me around everywhere I look,
Right.
So it's a weird name, so there's no domains or handles or anything taken like that. So I registered all that, and I posted about, like, on the Bills Mafia blog that I wanted to do this project. And then next thing I know, I'm doing interviews with the news. I got artists reaching out to me. And so a week after that Monday I just mentioned, so 1 week later, I had a website up. I was working with a local t-shirt company to produce the shirts. And I always joke, now I'm 11 and a half years into my 1-year project. Now I get to do it. I get to do it full time. That's part of the story as well too. So just blessed to be able to do this. Don't take anything for granted. I don't take anything for granted.
It's absolutely amazing, man. I freaking love you. That's, and that's the thing too, is this, it all fits together because, the Buffalo Bills fan base has been known. We give to charities all the time. And the fact that, the co-founder of Bills Mafia, now his main gig is also involved in charity, because a lot of what 26 Shirts does is for charity. Am I right?
Yeah. That's why we exist. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's our why. So I always joke, if people wanted to buy, limited edition hammers, I would sell limited edition hammers. I just want to do something to, well, I probably wouldn't be the guy to do it, but somebody would come forward and say, hey, I can do these hammers.
Yeah.
No, but like, it's an opportunity to use our powers for good. And, fandom in the world, but especially Western New York, is like it's like a renewable resource. You never run out of fandom. Sometimes it wanes a little bit here and there, and sometimes there's a lot more of output, than other times. But that excitement, that love is always there. You can tap into that, use that for, good works.
And that's what makes us, Bills Mafia, so great, man. And, you're right. You just got me thinking. There is kind of a supply and demand kind of thing with the fandom. You know, it goes up and down.
Oh, I could give you a dissertation on that.
Oh, brother,
that translates
me
into
too.
things, man,
Me too, my man. You know, I noticed this. I'll admit this kind of hit me in the heart, but I noticed I'm so happy for you because 26 Shirts is obviously doing so well. You now have branched out into other cities, and I clicked on the tab, and like one of the first things I saw was a Chiefs thing, and I'm like, you know what? I get it. As a business, you got to grow, but I can imagine that must have killed you to have to. You're probably like reluctantly like, all right, I'll make this Chief shit. Is that what happened? It just kind of you got to a point where it went. I think we're ready to expand into new cities.
Yeah, well, first things first, I hate the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's just be super
we
clear.
know that. Nobody can defend yourself.
So, New England Patriots, Kansas City Chiefs.
Ugh.
Yeah, well, but that said, there's people that need help everywhere.
That's
you
right.
know, and when it comes to helping people, like check your fandom at the door.
Absolutely.
Because people are people. That's one thing I'm really proud of. And sometimes I think people gripe about it a little bit, or fans will gripe about it, like, how come Bills fans are always helping other cities, or are always helping, like doing a fundraiser for like it's. And that's
How dare they help people?
Yeah, right. And we do a lot of good here in Western New York, but Bills fans in general, I mean, and people are people, and listen, if let me start by saying, for the Buffalo 26 Shirts, we make fun of other teams kind of often on the shirt. I'm not doing it with these other teams. Like, no, there's no
way,
squish
dude.
the Buffaloes. There's no whatever, but if they're gonna rock gear too, so they might as well rock gear that gives back. So that's the thought process there.
No, and that's great. And that's how I've always felt. I'm certainly not going to get into politics, but it's the same way. It's like people over party, right? And it's the same thing in sports. It's people over your team. People need help all over, and that just speaks to the person that you are, man. I thought I'd do something.
Yeah, some of my best friends that I've made through social media are like Patriots fans or Dolphins fans or even Chiefs fans, and like I never would have met them if it wasn't for my hatred of their team. So it's kind of funny how it all like works together.
Hate can bring us together too.
Yeah, I guess so.
I thought I'd do something fun. So I can't take full credit because I used AI, okay? You're probably against that. I have great ideas, but I can't draw. So I came up with 4 shirt ideas. I'm not asking you to use them. I just wanted to show you as something fun here. See what you think. Live reaction. All right, the first shirt, Danny, let's do Mad Max. Now, actually, Max Hairston liked this. I pumped this one out. It's a little Mad Max. He's flying through the air, a little fire. You have High Wark Stadium in the background because it's AI.
Blue helmet.
Yeah, blue helmet. I know. They're not perfect yet. My second design. Let's go with the Bill dozer. I am pushing hard for this. My friend Brian Parks, who I wrote Where Else with, he came up with he said, forget the tush push. We need the bulldozer. So I
love that. That's great. That's
you.
fantastic.
Again,
that snowplow. I like the snowplow.
The snowplow. Shout out to Dion Dawkins, of course.
Yeah.
But I
like
would love
that bulldozer.
I like the bulldozer, and I'm glad you do too. My third is whatever. Oh, the built-in buffalo. Let's throw that one up, Danny. I thought this was kind of cool. We're built in Buffalo, right? And
I dig that. I like that.
And then
That's
you're
cool.
going to hate this one because, you don't like to be called the Don. But there's Adam Schefter. You can't really see, but he's got cement shoes on, and that's in Lake Erie. And that's you. Which, by the way, I did want to tell you, I think you've officially arrived. Like when I was playing music, I was always like, if my song ever makes it into karaoke, like I've made it. And I feel like I said in the AI picture, they sent me one back, and then I said, can you make the guy look more like Del Reid? And I swear to God, dude,
I don't want that. I do not need Skynet knowing who I am or what I look
believe
like.
me. And I hope I didn't contribute to that.
That's funny.
Moving on, I know I want to be respectful of your time. I could talk Bills all day. Let's get into it a little bit. What'd you think about the draft?
I liked it.
Me
I
too.
liked it. Brandon made a good point on WGR.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I would have expressed it quite the way he did, and I think Jeremy and Joe have valid points on their end as
You
well
mean
too.
Jerry and Joe?
Jerry and Joe, yeah. That's funny, but they needed help on defense, and either to fill holes that are there or to prepare to fill holes for guys that have 1 year left on their contract. I don't love the idea of just putting everything on Josh's back all the time. But Brandon made some good points. They scored a lot of points last year, and they were really bad on 3rd and long passing downs.
I 100%.
They weren't getting to the passer, and they need better coverage. They need better pass rush. So I'm happy with how it went.
Yeah, me too, man. I mean, we all knew it was going to be a defensive-heavy draft, including Jeremy and Joe. I just thought when it got to the Deion Walker pick, I'm not saying they should not have taken him. I thought right there would have been a good spot to grab, Trey Harris or Kyle Williams, which it killed me to see him go to the Patriots, by the way.
Yeah,
I just think.
I was.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
No. Go ahead.
I was making a joke every time a division rival would draft somebody this year. I would just say that person sucks.
Yeah, immediately. Well, now
sucks. It felt bad typing Kyle Williams sucks.
I know it's so weird to say that.
I felt wrong.
It's so weird to say that. But yeah, it's I do the same thing. It's like someone gets drafted to a rival team, and I'm like, well, I gotta hate them now. But yeah, I thought, to kind of back up what Jeremy and Joe were saying, I agree. We needed a defense, a huge defensive draft. Because if you think about it, people that don't watch the Bills like we do, they'll say things like, oh, well, Josh, he plays amazing in the playoffs, but he just can't finish. And it's like, no, he can finish. He finishes every time. It's just the coaching decisions or the defense lets him down. So what did they do? They went out, and not only did they fill holes on defense, but they bolstered it. We saw what the Eagles did to Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, and that's what they went out and did. And I am beyond happy with that.
Yeah, that's they doubled down on the need. And it was one thing that was super interesting is I'm glad that whether they realized it or not, that Jeremy and Joe kind of provoked Brandon being in leading into that interview.
That was crazy.
I don't think it was intentional, but we got some really good insight into his thought process.
Yes.
Going into that draft, were we gonna understand all of the nuances or all of the his whole mindset was, unless he gets frustrated, goes, and he just spits out all this reasoning.
Sure.
I thought that was great. I thought it was, as fans, it's cool to know kind of where your GM's head was at in a situation like that, instead of kind of wondering why did they do that? So he was very clear in terms of the decision making. That was great.
That was actually one of the things I was afraid of, is I thought there would be so much blowback from Bean calling into Jeremy and Joe's show that it would almost shame him into I can't do that, and then he'd apologize, which I'm not saying they don't deserve an apology, but what I am saying is I want the GM to come on and be that transparent. I want to bring that back. I want to know what they're thinking. And I don't know if you watched the latest Embedded, but Bean explains a little bit further on their process. I won't go into it, but basically how they wanted to stick to a certain position and not switch positions unless the value was right. So, it was cool to hear. I think the bottom line is, they have a good receiving core. I think it's better than last year. I love the Elijah Moore signing. I think his ceiling could be wide receiver 1 or 2, and his floor could be special teams. I don't know what we're going to get, but what I do love is that we have a better unit, but more importantly, I think the focus is that we don't really have, it's 3rd down. Diggs was our guy. That's, it's like basketball. Who you giving the ball to at the last second? And I don't know if we have that guy yet. And maybe we do, and we're going to find out who it's going to be. But, it's just people, when Bean was like, well, we scored 38 points a game or whatever it was, and that is true, and I agree with him, but I would just like to know, if I had the time, how many of those points were Allen, running it into the end zone because he didn't have someone downfield, So, but I loved the draft. Do you have any thoughts as of yesterday? Any thoughts on Gabe Davis coming back or not?
No, I don't see it.
Thank
And
you.
I know he's got a good relationship with like in the culture and the locker room and everything, but um, no disrespect to the guy, but I'm fine if he lands somewhere else.
100%. That's where I'm at. You know, I would get if he came back for chemistry reasons, maybe to help. I mean, he is kind of a little bit bigger and veteran version of Keon Coleman, or at least his role, like a power slot type. So, you know, I could see maybe with his development, but otherwise, I think the way it ended was the way it probably should have ended.
And good on him. He got his bag, you know.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure, and he
like,
earned it.
good for him. You know,
Yeah,
um, I listen to Joe Marino, his podcast,
he's great.
Almost every day, and he's always had some strong opinions on Gabe Davis, which I kind of like. And I usually trust Joe with what he's going to share.
Oh yeah,
his opinions often become my opinions.
yeah. That's how I feel about Jeremy
because-
White and Joe Marino. They're both very brilliant.
Mhm. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I just to kind of love on Jeremy real quick. Like, I've been listening to him since he was like on the 7 o'clock show with Brad Ryder, like
Yeah.
in 2003 or 4 or whatever it was. Like, I've always enjoyed listening to him, and he does a really good job of it, explaining his reasoning and you know his thought process and everything. So.
Yeah, that's the one thing I love about Jeremy is he's such a great football mind, but he's the kind of the opposite of most of us. He's not knee jerk. He's well thought out, and he always he comes at a lot of these discussions with interesting angles. I'm part of his text group. I suggest it if it's like $3 a month. I really suggest it gives you a little extra. So shout out to Jeremy and Joe and all those guys at WGR.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely love all of them. Sal, Nate Geary, you name it.
Mhm.
I wanted to talk to you. Moving along again, I'm trying to be respectful of your time here, but you know, people ask me about the table smashing, right? You know, that's kind of a thing. You know, Bills Mafia, and then usually the second sentence is table smashing. Now, you're one of the co-creators, or co-founders, I should say, of Bills Mafia. Now, as a fan who grew up in the Super Bowl era, you know, the 4 straight Super Bowls, and, you know, I had season tickets during the drought. I have an interesting theory on how the table smashing came about, and I would love to hear, I trust your opinion on this. So people ask me about it, and I would say, listen, I'm 42. I never participated in tables. We didn't do the table smashing. You know, I noticed the table smashing. We used to tailgate in lot 5, which I think is now lot 6 or 7 now, in the stadium lot. And I remember the porta potties were always there. And while I was waiting in line, there's that grass lot right next there. And 9 times out of 10, I would see like a fire and I would hear screaming. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on over there? And I remember looking over and seeing someone jumping through a table. And I'm like, what the fuck are these guys doing? And then fast forward, I don't know, a month later, and it started, you know, now it's become a thing. So my theory is, and I tell people this, I'm like, look, guys like me come from an era of, we want to get back to the Super Bowl era. Like, we want to go back to those days, the glory days. We're there for the game. And I feel like that generation that started the table smashing, I feel like they were all high school kids or whatever. They don't know what it's like. They know that the Bills always suck. We're just going to go to the game and party. Like, I went to a tailgate and a football game broke out, basically. You know what I mean? Like, they're there for the party. And I think that's how it started, because a lot of people that aren't Bills fans would tell me, like, you guys jump through tables. And I'm like, no, that's not. There's just a sector of the fan base.
Yeah, I think you're probably right in terms of how that came about. You know, yeah, I'm not a huge fan of it. Like,
Me either.
I always say, people can get up for a game however they want. That's fine. Like, I'm not gonna judge. Just not for me, not for this body.
Hell, I hear you there.
49 years old. It's not going through any tables.
No.
So, but I always say, just be safe, just be smart.
Yeah,
So, but yeah, I've always thought that, especially when you can get tickets on StubHub for like $8
Yeah,
to go to a game. People are going there and they're partying beforehand, and if they make it into the stadium, great. And if not, well, all right, it's fine.
It's
You know,
nuts. You know, I feel like it's the same fans. I was there. Remember when the fan slid down the railing at the game and like fell onto the section below? I feel like he was part of that crew of like, and that was a game we were beating the Jets. We were like way up, and at that point we were not used to, like, we're like, what do we do when we're winning? We've never experienced this. Let's slide down a goddamn railing. You know what I mean? Like, It was just nuts. But I think that was the moment I realized I'm getting older, because I used to laugh at that stuff, jumping through tables, and I looked at it more from a father's perspective, where I'm like, they're going to get hooked,
Yep.
I do want to.
There's one. Oh, go ahead.
No. Go ahead. I apologize.
I just remember there's one away game in Tennessee, probably 7-8 years ago, and a fan jumped through. I think it was cardboard boxes almost. The tables went, and the guy was just laying there motionless. I'm like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Yeah, dude. There were a couple videos I saw where they're on fire, or they're breaking their neck, or it looks like they're breaking their neck. It just not great. I got a question for you. The new stadium's being built. We're all excited about that. Someone proposed a question on social media of if you could take one thing from the current stadium as a souvenir, because there's rumors they might sell that stuff off. Do you have something in mind that you would want?
I want my bench that I sit on.
That's what I said. That's what I said. I want my section.
Or at least the 4 seats. I don't need to have the whole bench. I'll share it with everybody else in our row. But I would love that, the 4 seats that we have in section 224. I would love that.
Shout out 224. I was my seasons were in section 119, and I said the same thing. I have it written right here. Mine would be the bench, and it. And you know why? Because that they have dents in them. Because on third down when we're banging away, and to me that is the coolest shit ever. Did you hear about the Hallmark movie? Did you sign up to be an extra on that by any chance?
Yeah, the casting agency reached out to me, so there may be something involved, but we'll see. No, that's not how I met it.
I know that's not how you met it.
We'll see. I'm not a big Hallmark movie guy. I'm a big Bills guy. So
that's
I'll tell you what though, my wife's grandmother, when I told her about it, she is pumped for this movie.
Dude, Hallmark movies to grandmothers are TikTok to us. You know what I mean? It's exciting for them.
Yeah. She is any news on the movie? No, Graham. No, I'll let you know.
Yeah. That's awesome. I'll get you out of here on this. I wanted to do some rapid fire questions for you. Are you cool with that?
Sure.
Nothing hard.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I've got about 10 rapid fire questions for Del Reid, co-founder of Bills Mafia, CEO of 26 Shirts, 26shirts.com. All right. First question. Worst moment or experience as a fan, in person or watching?
The loss to the Browns 2009. They lost 6-3.
Oh, God.
And completed 2 passes, and the Browns won that game.
Who was our quarterback? Kevin Cobb? No, Derek Anderson. Who was our?
Derek Anderson was the quarterback for the Browns.
Right.
So that would have been 2009. So that probably would have been Edwards.
Yeah.
I'm blaming Trent Edwards.
Yeah, it's either him or Holcomb, Tool. I don't know.
Holcomb was 05.
Holcomb was
so
05,
this was Dick Duran. So it's probably Edwards.
Yeah, I think you're right.
But it was terrible. I repressed most of that game.
It was definitely pre-Fitzy. Yeah, you're right. Didn't they beat us? He threw for 100 yards, 2 for 5. Is that what you said? Something like that.
Well, no, it was 2 for 17 or something like that. He completed 2 passes. I don't remember how many yards it was.
That's right.
I don't think it was 100 yards. But
what a great pick. That was not what I was expecting you to say. I'm so happy you said that. All right. How about favorite moment or experience as a fan, in person or watching?
The playoff game against the Patriots when they scored every time they had the ball.
I was there.
I remember at the game, and I told my friend was with me. I'm like, they have to score every time they have the ball. We're walking out of the stadium. Like, I didn't think they were actually going to do it.
They heard me. Yeah, that was great. I was there. That was my. I had season tickets during the drought, but I had never been to a playoff game at home.
Yeah, so few of us have, right?
Right.
Up to that point.
And so my wife was like, "We're going," and her and I went. I remember it was 0 degrees.
Yeah, it was cold.
It was incredible. Favorite uniform? I think I know what you're gonna say, but I'm curious.
I like the Stormtrooper outfits. The white head to toe.
Really?
Partly because first of all, they're clean. They're so clean looking. But I think part of it is that over the years I have this love for that look. I think what it is that was the same year, 2011, that they introduced those, that Bills Mafia kind of took off. And so this whole Bills Mafia thing is growing, and they're wearing those. They wore those ways like a ton. So I think that's part of it too. Like that's kind of like it's like very formative
I
for
love.
me. But also they look super clean.
What a great answer, dude. Yeah, it's kind of like nostalgia for you. It kind of represents the birth of what you started.
Yeah.
You talking
Yeah.
about with the standing buffalo or still the newer buffalo?
No, not the throwback. I like the throwbacks too, but like I'm talking about the new helmet.
New helmet. Okay.
You know, with the white helmet and like
yeah.
the head to toe white. So clean.
It is so clean. I'm a hack. I'm going chalk on this. I love the the red helmets, but
That's fair.
all right, here we go.
As long as it's not the Donahoe jerseys.
Yeah, no. Visiting stadiums that you would not go to, or one stadium. I mean, I feel like the Eagles is one of the easier answers, right?
Maybe the Patriots, but
Yeah.
I would like to go there while the Bills are still really good and
Yeah.
the Patriots aren't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I want to go to all of them. I've only been to maybe like 6 so far.
So you could get away with it. You're respected within the football community. If I go, they're just gonna. I don't know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna get bombed.
I'd get a hat because I hate y'all or something.
Yeah, there you go.
I hate your team. I hate your team. I gotta stay in line with what I was saying earlier. I hate
That's
your
right.
team.
Hate the team, not the person. All right.
Exactly.
Most underrated Bills player all time, current or former?
Oh boy, wow, that's a good one. Most underrated
It's tough,
player.
right? It took me a while when I was thinking of mine, but who cares about mine?
All time. I don't know. Well, Taron Johnson's been an All-Pro, so I don't think he counts.
No, he's amazing.
I
People
love
don't
Taron
understand.
Johnson.
People don't understand how important he is to that defense.
Yeah, dude, that's most underrated player.
It's tough. I went through it. I mean, I'll help you out.
Let me hear yours.
Mine is who did I pick? Let me make sure I have it here. Eric Moulds would probably be mine. I think. I mean, his stats speak for themselves, but I think he kind of gets buried in there because it was a time when the Bills weren't so good. I think Eric Moulds is up there for me. Eric Moulds would be my pick. Honorable mention, Lee Evans, maybe
I thought of Lee Evans. I thought of Lee Evans too.
McGee. It is tough.
Like,
now I'm stumped on my own question. Don't worry, we can edit.
There's a lot of,
so many.
I
guess
defense,
Puzzlus.
the 99 defense that they had. Like, if they beat the Titans in that game, they go to the Super Bowl.
Dude,
in my opinion, like whatever team was winning that game was going to the Super Bowl
without it.
And
without it.
Who was the tackle there? I always forget Pat or Ted Williams, whichever one it was, because a couple years later they had the other name. The defensive tackle Williams.
Oh,
in that 99 season.
Okay, I like it. Great choice. 2 teams gone tomorrow. They're out of the league. I picked 2 because you got to keep it even. We can get rid of 2 teams out of the NFL. Who is it?
That's kind of mean. I mean,
you know what? It's kind of mean, isn't it?
My brain said Miami right away, but
well, of course,
that's not true. I want to be. And Detroit's kind of good now, so it's not like they're just like hanging on. Like, let's see.
I go straight expansion teams. I'm like Carolina, Tennessee, goodbye, or Tennessee.
I'll take Tennessee because they're a falsehood. So I'll take Tennessee. Like they bring out like Warren Moon.
Yeah,
and it's like a legacy player. It's like no, he never. Even, for all we know, he never even. I'm sure he did, but he never steps foot in the state of Tennessee. Much less,
Could not agree more, because if you remember,
and they look like a UFL team.
Yeah, they do. And if you remember, technically the Ravens are the old Browns, so that would be like bringing out like a Browns player as a Raven.
Love that you said that, because that's like my favorite troll to do when we play the Ravens.
Me too.
Let them pog on the old Browns. I love that you said that. So
I love that you love it, because that's what I used to do. I used to go,
whatever you love it, I love it.
You're the old Browns,
Yeah, they get so angry. It's like No, all the history stayed in Cleveland. Like, well, the GM didn't, and the players didn't, and like like Ozzie Newsome, like what he so in like this multiverse, he just switched over from being the Cleveland GM to the Baltimore GM. No,
Yeah.
they probably had the same employer identification number, right? I don't know, but
That's
like
true.
say EIN, like it's probably the same incorporated. Maybe I don't
Yeah.
know.
You
Like,
could and you control both fan bases. I don't like to
oh yeah,
troll Cleveland because if you remember when they lost the team, a lot of those guys came over across the lake and would support the Bills. So I always have a soft
yeah.
spot for
The
them.
Bills would have Cleveland Day. I remember that
Yeah, yeah,
Cleveland Day.
yeah. But I
Yeah.
do, but I do. If you want to troll Cleveland fans, you can be like, Lamar Jackson could have been yours, But I don't. But I don't want to do that.
How was that Super Bowl win in 2000?
Yeah. All right. One move you would take back, organizational move you wish they never did. Again, this is not about me, but while you're thinking, just to get the brain thing, I said the Marshawn trade. I hated
That's
when
probably that was my knee jerk reaction. If we're doing rapid fire, that was my knee jerk reaction.
I
The guy
ruined
was
it.
future Hall of Famer probably, and he was on your team for
Oh,
3 or 4 seasons and just squandered.
dude,
You know?
they gave him away for a 4th rounder. Ugh.
Mm.
All right, we're almost done. Favorite tailgate spot at the stadium? Where are you hanging out? What lot? I mean, that's gonna change soon.
It's a good question because like my wife and I we kind of like bounce around.
Yeah.
Like we stop at the Mafia house and then we'll head over to Lori's lot and obviously Kenny with his
Hammer lot?
yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Then we'll end up over at like the hotel off of like Southwestern, whatever it is, because her cousin's at the tailgate over there. It's like an abandoned hotel now or something like that, or something. I don't know, but like, yeah, dude.
That's it. But that's
All the places are great. Like I'm too scared to go in the grass lot though.
yeah,
I'm too
me
scared.
too, dude. I remember when where the new stadium is where it used to be the bus lot. That I used to tell people like everyone's like, oh, the Hammer lot's crazy. I'm like, listen, I was like back in the day. It was like a war zone over in the bus lot because it would be people who have been drinking since like 4 a.m. when the bus left. There's mounted cops. There was fights. It was just, it was I saw a rock band just start playing. It was, that place was a.
Was it you? Was it your band?
What's that?
Was it your band?
Actually, I think I did sit in. It wasn't my band, but I did. I sang Smells Like Teen Spirit with them. All right, best wings in Buffalo.
Oh man, so
I know.
here's the thing, like it's hard to find bad wings in Buffalo.
True.
I've only had 9/11 once, like maybe 6 months ago or 7, whatever it was, I forget. Those are really good.
That's what I heard is the new. That's what I'm seeing now. Like for a while, it was, I was saying it was Bar Bill and Gabriel's Gate, and now on social media, like especially the last week, I've seen 9/11 taverns like crushing it.
Yeah. So they're my one time going there. It was great. Sneaky choice is
I like sneaky choices.
in Kenmore. There's Mustachios called Mustachios, and their wings. They're not known. It's just a pizza place, but their wings are really good. So a lot of times when friends are in from out of town, they want to get wings or order it in my house, whatever. I'll bring those in, and like every time they, my guest or whomever has been like, these are really good. I'm like, yeah, I know. It's why I ordered them. But so, and also a big shout out to Wing Nuts because those aren't even like truly buffalo wings. They're like their own thing. They're like chicken forearms anyway. They're huge.
Yeah.
But yeah. So there's a lot of great choices in Buffalo. It's hard to like. I don't want to die on any hill, to be honest with you. I don't want to die on any hill when it comes to that stuff.
No,
But we'll find the crappy ones. We'll shame them.
That's right.
That's
I guess the better question I should have said best like low key underrated spots. So I like would you say Mustachios?
Mustachios on Elmwood in Kenmore. Yep.
I mean, who better to endorse it than you? People focus on the sauce, which is obviously important. For me, it's like you got to pay attention to the wing itself. Is it meaty? Is it coated? Is it, crispy? Like that, there's a lot that goes into wings, which I will tell you, I live in Ithaca. The Ithaca Ale House is, other than wings I've had in Buffalo, are the absolute greatest wings I've ever had in my life. If you're ever in the Ithaca area, Ithaca Ale House, check that out.
I remember that.
They're not paying me. They're not paying me. I'm just speaking one Bills fan to other. All right, and last question. This is the most important. This has been trending on social media. but I kind of made it our own question. 100 gorillas versus 1 Josh Allen. Who's winning?
I love Josh, but that's a lot of gorillas, man. That's a lot of gorillas.
I think he would agree. Have you had a chance to meet any of the current players? Have you met Bean, McDermott, Allen, any of the main players?
Yeah, I met Brandon Bean, super nice guy.
Awesome.
Very normal dude, you know. Yeah, I've done with Dion and Reid Ferguson, and
I love Reid.
Yeah, he's a great dude. Everyone loves Reid. Who doesn't like Reid Ferguson?
Best.
Yeah. So those are the two that I've done the most work with. And I've we can go down the list of the players. Like I've met Dawson and Josh and stuff like that real briefly. With Josh, he's a busy guy, right? But
Sure.
yeah, I've had a lot of cool opportunities to mix it up with a lot of these players, and over the years now, 10, 15 years, like just so many cool stories. Like Jerry Hughes, great dude. Love that guy.
Awesome.
I mean, like I said, I'm 49. So Thurman, Jim, Andre, the opportunity to meet, work with each of those guys has been super surreal.
Yeah,
so,
man.
Never take it for granted.
I met Jim Kelly back in the day, and the first thing I said was, Jim, I don't get starstruck very much. I just don't know what to say. What do you say to one of your heroes? And without a beat, man, he looked at me and he goes, what do you mean you don't know what to say to your heroes? You just say, hey, how you doing? How's your day going? Because my heroes are my family, and that's what I ask them every morning. And I was like, whoa, what a Jim Kelly answer,
Yeah.
But it's, as fans, we all dream of, like, imagine if Josh Allen or Brandon Bean knew who we were, and you're in the unique position where they do know who you are. And it's well-deserved. You've done so much.
Oh my gosh! I gotta say real quick, Stevie Johnson.
Stevie Johnson,
I love that dude.
Yeah, dude.
I love that dude.
If there's one player that's one of us, it's him.
Oh, I love that dude. Yeah. So he's the cool. Sorry to interrupt you.
No. This is your interview. I'm interrupting you. No, but it's all the recognition, whether you like it or not, is well deserved, because not only did you give us something as fans, especially at the time you gave it to us, right? We're coming out of we didn't know yet. But we're on our, the last leg of the drought. You gave us something to talk about, to be excited about, to feel good about. And as a fan, I thank you for that. But more importantly, what you do for the Buffalo community and for other communities and charity, it's absolutely amazing, man. Del Reid, Bills Mafia, 26 shirts, 26shirts.com. Before we go, any events or extra plugs you want to get in?
First of all, super kind words. Thank you.
I mean it, man.
It's just a bunch of weird, crazy accidents in my life that have led to this point. But very nice of you to say that stuff. And I got a great team here at 26 Shirts that, with the fundraising we do and everything. Great question. Literally just as we were going live, we announced Mafia Con 2025. So we started that last year.
Did you just fucking break a story on my show?
About an hour ago, we did it. Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah, I'll take it.
All right.
Oh, man.
So last year we did our first Mafia Con at the Western New York Heroes Event Center in the city. This year it's going to be at Seneca 1, which is the tallest building in Buffalo. So it's the big rectangle.
Yep.
And that'll be on July 19th. And we're partnering with TSE. We're going to have Bills players there, and doing autographs and signings with TSC and everything. We're going to have vendors, exhibitors, live podcasts. It's going to be a blast. So very much looking forward to it. Last year was amazing, super stressful going into it. I'm not an event planner by nature. Like I said, I have a great team, but I was so nervous, and I remember it wasn't until like the day before we were finishing setup, and I was like, "Holy cow! I think this is going to go great," So everybody walked up to me the day of saying, "Congratulations!" I'm like, "Okay, I guess that means we did a good job." Yeah. So again, great team here putting it together. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be a big celebration of Buffalo football fandom, and it'll be a good time.
Well, I can promise you, I will be there, and I'll have to stay in touch. Maybe maybe we'll actually do a live show from there, and who knows? But I will be there. I want to say too, my friend and I, we wrote a Bills Mafia anthem. We recorded it under the name The K-Gun. It's called Where Else, Marv's Anthem. We shot it at the home opener. We just put it out there for fun. We're putting like 3 or 4 more songs. Our next song is going to be about beating the Chiefs. It don't mean a thing to win the East unless you finally beat the Chiefs. So we've got some other songs coming, but I want to say, I kind of threw it out there. Like, here's our baby. If one person listens to it before a game, then we win. Like, I don't care what happens with it. I sent it to you, and you were one of the only people that wrote back, a higher profile within the Bills community that wrote back and were like, hey, man, that was really awesome. And I really appreciated that. And I wanted to thank you for that, man.
Speaking truth.
So, I really appreciate it. And that's what's great about Bills Mafia. Del, I've taken up way too much of your time. Thank you for coming on Good News York. 26 shirts, Bills Mafia. Keep doing what you do. Let's stay in touch, and we'll see you at Mafia Con. Stay tuned for that.
Let's go. Yeah, it was a pleasure, man. We've been talking back and forth on social. I think this is one of the few times we've actually mixed it up, like, face to face, even through a screen. Right?
Yeah, no, so, I love it. You and I kind of have crossed paths a little bit on social media, but this was like our first real conversation, and it was awesome. And I can't thank you enough. And say thank you to the rest of the team there at 26 Shirts. And we'll talk to you soon, my man.
All right, take care, brother.
Thanks,
Thank you,
buddy. All right, that was a special edition of Good News York with the co-founder of Bills Mafia, CEO of 26 Shirts, Del Reid. Absolutely love him. What did we learn? You need to go to Mustachios for underrated wings, and you got to go to Mafia Con. I am through the roof excited. I'm a little fanboy right now. Have a great weekend. Good News York will be back Monday. GoodNewsYork.com. We love you. Go Bills.